You spoke about your battle against COVID-19 and you vaccinated almost more than 90% of your population. What do you have to say about the Vaccine Maitri program? Did Bangladesh benefit from it?
I really thanks to Prime Minister Modi to take this initiative, and that way he contributed vaccine to not only Bangladesh, also some South Asian countries. And it's really very helpful, and it's a very prudent initiative he has taken. And beside that, we bought vaccines with our own money, and also many other countries also contributed, and we pursue our people for vaccination. Usually people from our country, especially the village level, even some in the town also, I found many people very much reluctant to take vaccine. They don't want to take the pinch of the needle or sui nail in a so, but we have to pursue them, and we told them that it is nothing but it will save your life. So that we engaged everybody so that they make people. So it was really a very good initiative. This Vaccine Maitri is a very good initiative. I really support it.
So there's been, Western observers are often critical that SAARC, the countries, member countries in SAARC, they don't cooperate as much as other groupings do. But this Vaccine Maitri and also the evacuation of students from your country, from our country, that happened. That took place because of cooperation between the two countries.
That's true. I really thanks to Prime Minister again that during this war between Russia and Ukraine, many of our students just stuck off and they came to Poland, took shelter. But when you evacuate your student, Indian student, they also brought our student back home. So it was really, you have shown a really friendly gesture. I thank to Prime Minister for this initiative.
You have gone through so much of trauma in your personal life. Your family was assassinated. While many of us remember that phase of the 70s and 80s, there are many young Indians who are not aware. Ma'am, in your own words, could you tell me what you faced in those years?
1971, when war started, my father was arrested. My mother was in custody, me too, and I was expecting my first baby. But I thanks to India government, India people, Indian, they supported our
war of independence.
War of liberation. They not only supported war of liberation, also they gave shelter our refugees all. Then comes 1975. It was so suddenly it happened. Only 15 days ago, my sister and myself, we left the country. I went to Germany, where my husband, he was the nuclear scientist. He was doing his post-PhD research there. So we just went there just for a few days, couple of months.
But suddenly, I'm sorry to interrupt. What was your last meeting with your father before you left?
It is 30th July.
You remember that clearly?
Yeah.
Your mother and father?
Mother, father, everybody. I was to as because my husband was abroad, so I used to live in the same house. So that day, everybody was there. My father, mother, my three brothers, two newly wedded sister-in-laws. Everybody was there. So all of siblings and their spouse, they came to the airport to see us off, and we met father and mother. That was the last day. Yeah. Then 15th August in the morning, we we heard this news, but we couldn't believe it. It was really unbelievable that any Bengali could do it. And still we didn't know what really happened, only there was a coup, and then we heard that my father was assassinated, but we didn't know that all the family members were, they were assassinated. But that time Mrs. Gandhi immediately sent information that she want to give us security and shelter. So we received especially from Marshal Tito from Yugoslavia and Mrs. Gandhi, and we decided to come back here because we had in our mind that if we go to Delhi, from Delhi we will be able to go back to our country, and then we will be able to know how many members of family still alive.
How do you cope with that, ma'am, to know that your entire family is wiped out?
It's a very difficult time. When I heard this news, the ambassador, Germany, Mr. Humayun Rashid Chaudhary, he called me alone and then he told me. For a few moments I didn't know where I was, but I thought about my sister. She is 10 years younger than me, so actually I thought how she will take it. It is so difficult for her. Then when we returned to Delhi, at first they put us in a house with all security because they are also worried about us.
Did you feel that you could be a target at that stage?
There was news like this because those who killed our parents after their attack 3 houses at a time.
To find you?
No, to kill members, like my father's sister, 2 sisters' house, and they killed family members simultaneously.
How many members were killed, ma'am?
Almost 18 members, and some mostly my relatives, and then some maid servant, their children, there were some guests, my uncle.
So it was to see that nobody from Bangabandhu's family ever comes back to power, right?
Exactly. My younger brother was only 10 years old, so they didn't spare him too. So when we returned Delhi, it was perhaps 24th August. Then I met Prime Minister Mrs. Gandhi. She called us, and so there we came to know that nobody is alive. Then she made all the arrangements for us, a job for my husband, and this Pandara Road house. We stayed there. So first 2-3 years, actually it was so difficult to accept this. My children, my son was only 4 years old, and my daughter, she is younger than him. Both of them used to cry to go to my mother, my father, and they used to remember my younger brother mostly. So but then gradually we have, and well, as because our children, my sister is there, so this sorrow, pain, it was very difficult, but still we have to think what to do. We should do something. We cannot live like this. And this crime not only killed my father, also they changed the ideology of our liberation war. Everything just one night, everything just changed. And those killers, they are haunting us, that they are trying to find out where we are. So when we live in Pandara Road, even we couldn't, our name was changed.
In Delhi, in Pandara?
In Delhi, yeah.
So you lived under a different name also?
Different name.
Okay.
And it is so painful that you cannot use your own name, own identity.
Yes,
yeah.
I can imagine.
Because of the security purpose, they did not allow us.
So nobody from Bangladesh came to meet you in those years?
At the beginning, almost all, because of all my family members, those
they were not allowed to come.
Well, those who survived, and within this, like my auntie and my 2 cousin sisters and one brother, they got bullet shot. So they got treatment, and after that, most of them, they just went to Calcutta. But first 2-3 years, we couldn't meet anybody.
You were in India from 75 to
81.